Hello, welcome to the Database Marketing course. I am so glad that you chose to go the extra mile to improve your career prospects. I am Shri Vivek. I joined EMU in 2009, but I have been teaching marketing for over 2 decades now. However, I never felt the need to make decisions as quantitatively as I do feel it now. I have been discussing marketing models in most classes I've taught before because models bring rationality to decision making when you know steps of going from one thing to the other to the next and then arriving at a most rational and possibly objective decision. But never ever was rationality so important in decision making and so objective as it is now. Why? Why do you think so? Or, well, I can't hear you, but I'll tell you why I think so. There are two reasons for this. We always knew that a lot of marketing dollars, the money that businesses put into the marketing efforts, does not yield positive results. And every business knows that every money that they put into marketing, every penny that they put into marketing is not going to yield positive results. But throughout, the problem has been not being able to know it is which half of the marketing money which is not yielding the results. You might have noticed or heard in your other classes how Samsung as a brand rose from the ranks in Interbrand rankings from 34th in 2002 to 9th in 2012 and 7th in 2015, with its brand value increasing from $8.31 billion to $45.29 billion in 2015, in that same period. Part of the reason for this rise of Samsung has been better decision making. To build a leading brand, companies must invest the marketing funds very, very wisely. And this wise decision becomes difficult for global products companies who are making complex investment decisions. For instance, how do you compare the sales of, say, pain relievers in Germany versus dish detergent in UK? How do you know where is your biggest chunk of profits coming from, and whether putting the lion's share of your marketing budget into that chunk is a good idea or not? So in early 2000, Samsung placed all of its data, category data and country data, in one easy to access marketing repository that it called Mnet. It then built the predictive models to identify where and how today's marketing investments would yield the highest future returns. And did a lot of simulations to test a variety of marketing allocation scenarios. When Samsung put the data in Mnet, it revealed several mismatches. For instance, there was overinvestment in some countries and underinvestments in others. For instance, there was overinvestment in North America, but underinvestment in China. This is early 2000s I'm talking about. There was overinvestment in some product categories, but underinvestment in other categories. So Samsung decided that it would reallocate $150 million of its marketing budget from different categories and regions. So here is what you see here is Samsung's Mnet system's results or reports. It produced a graphical depiction of the company's allocation challenges. So this axis here is how Samsung planned to put its money in different places for one product category, and we're calling it product one here. Uh, this is what Samsung planned, and this is what Mnet suggested this is how Mnet suggested Samsung allocates the money. For example, Samsung planned that 15% of allocation should go to Italy, but Mnet suggested about 22% of allocation should go to Italy because it's a bigger area. The size of the bubble reflects Mnet's calculations of the market's relative profit potential. So if you look here, Netherlands did not have a very high profit potential. Canada did not have a very high profit potential. Spain had profit potential, but putting in current money here would not be more current money here would not be so beneficial, because here if you look at it, Samsung decided to put about 18 or 19%, but Mnet is suggesting less than 15% here in Spain. So Spain, according to Mnet, Spain is not a market that would grow faster. Now, Samsung's managers used these kind of bubbles or these kind of graphics and made decisions based on that, discovered the misallocations, and not only that, they also used them to convince the affected managers to accept the change. Mnet is giving you results based on past data, and so these visuals help them convince the managers to reallocate funds as would be more effective. I'm sure you've heard of the term big data. Intel calls the availability of data as the center of possibility, arguing that the digital economy is driving a virtuous cycle where connected devices and cloud-powered devices, services are generating data, and insights from the data are driving further innovation. We all understand this. 10 years ago, we did not know how the customers searched and gained information about our product. But now, we get reams of data each minute about every move they make, every step they take. Businesses are watching the customers everywhere. So does the collection of this data help us make better decisions? What do you think? Intel mentions that technology generates data and insights. Yes, it does. But the insights are about what happened in the past. Look at this. This is where insights go, somewhere here. You get the data, which is just plain numbers, and the numbers don't tell much until you start giving them meaning. Right here. That's when they become the information, and when you start making some short-term decisions out of that, it turns into knowledge. But smart marketers go beyond that. They use the past information to develop knowledge that helps in marketing decisions about the future. When marketers use past data, big or small, for everyday marketing decision, this is where analytics comes in. So, what is analytics? As the International Institute of Analytics suggests, there are so many different levels of analytics. There is this descriptive level of analytics, like the standard reports, like the ad hoc reports. These look into what happened in the past. You have your standard reports, you have your ad hoc reports, you have your query drills, you have your alerts. They look at what happened in the past, and collects that data. All this has been embedded in the IT systems for ages, what Intel calls insights. But in this course, we will go a step further. We will build on the power of technology by taking the data from the past and using the power of statistics. Or should I call understanding what the statisticians bring to the marketer's table? Because I promise I'm not going to make you go into very deep statistics, but I would expect you to start understanding the results that the statisticians bring to us and have the ability to achieve the results to a certain extent, but not too much in depth. So we will concentrate on this next level, the higher intelligence level, where we will take several insights from what happened in the past, why that happened, then combine the past insights and data using statistical models and human judgment, and predict the best course of action in the future. Data is not something that got generated by random events. Data is generated by consumers when they're interacting with the firm every minute, every day. That's how data is generated. And we're looking at that and understanding that, putting it back together, understanding how consumers generated this data. Why is something happening? You see here, why is something happening? Why did consumers buy more product when it was put on sale or, when it was displayed on the aisle? Statistical analysis is going to help us understand the customer's journey from awareness of a brand to the final purchase. And using data, once we know why something is happening, marketers can then ask the next question. What if we try this? What will happen if we try a different thing, or if we modify this thing a little bit? What if we try a different promotion? What if I change my ad campaign a little bit? What would happen? That would be randomized testing or experimentation to figure out how something changes if we do a different action. And then using all this information, you can tell what will happen next. Create predictive models, forecast what the sales are going to be like in the future. That way, the company knows what is the optimum decision to marketing profits, the optimization level. So we are going to look at the statistical analysis, learn how to do randomized testing, create predictive models, and make optimal decisions. This way, data-based analytics is the bridge from the past data to making future decisions in marketing, from going from the what to the so what. Now, big data versus small data. Are they different? Should they be treated differently? This is a new field and a lot of discussion is going on about it. For the purpose of our course, here is what I believe. Big data and small data are same as long as the data helps us generate useful knowledge for optimal decision making, like you see here. Let's shrink big data into small data and hope it magically becomes great data. Not magically, we will have to learn that magic, and that's what we would be learning. There are places where big data is expensive and cumbersome or not capable of making decisions. And then the same applies to small data. While a small sample of purchasing behavior data can help us make decisions about the upcoming promotions, it cannot help us customize our ads for each each customer. This is where you need big data. As this brief video suggests, size of the data does not make a difference as long as you have the tools and the resources. to make it actionable. So enjoy the video, and if you want to read up more on both sides of the argument about big and small data, try the link provided on the course page under this week. For now, I will leave you with this thought. To me, data-based analytics is really about helping marketers make better decisions. And one of the biggest decisions marketing managers make is knowing how to spread the ever-decreasing resource of money, such that every penny that they put into a marketing program is most effective in the future. That is resource allocation. You will read more about it in your book. So enjoy the beginning of this new journey, and don't forget to enjoy the semester.
The key to all data is to make it actionable. Data is absolutely useless if you don't do anything with it. And so, in my honest opinion, there's no difference between small data and big data. The big challenge, though, in any organization, and particularly in our contact centers these days, is we have so much data, and we don't actually know what to do with it. You asked, what are the big challenges right now? Companies are still measuring and reporting on everything and not doing anything with it. Don't report on something if you can't actually make a difference with it. If it's not actionable, then don't use it. All it is clouding your already crowded reports. It's clouding your already crowded mindset. And your senior leaders, they don't need to know everything. They need to know what's happening in your contact center that can actually make a difference to the customer. If it doesn't, then don't tell them about it. Manage your business with the metrics that you know you need and report up to your senior leadership the measurements that they need in order to improve that customer experience.
Every breath you take